Deacon John Wilson here, Education Enrichment Director for West Angeles Church, here to talk to you about some early impressions in the admissions process these next couple of videos. I want to talk about CSU and the vaccine mandates. I've gotten some questions about it, and I'm seeking clarification from CSU. First of all, what I know, as we're applying to schools for different students, it seems to be a mixture. Some schools are saying there's going to be a vaccine mandate. They want you to affirm that you see it. Others do not. And I'll tell you what I think about that later. I'll tell you what else also I know. Last year, many CSUs got around the mandate and still allowed students to be on campus who were not vaccinated, even without testing. And there were no breakouts that I heard of COVID, wasn't a real COVID starter or whatever you call it. So CSU Dominguez Hills, I'll call them out. CSU Bakersfield, I think it's a couple other CSUs. I think Pomona, they didn't enforce the mandates, even though they supposedly were required. No kind of waiver had to be provided by the students. So even though CSU officially is still posting on their websites that there's a mandate, I believe that pressure is building as I look in society to drop these mandates as more and more lawsuits go through. And, I think that's what CSU is waiting for. So those of you that did not want a vaccine mandate, we talked about this and I said you should still apply because I think ultimately the pressure from the outside will do it. I'm going to, seek clarification from CSU. They had not been answering me as to what their policy would be for fall 2023. UC, everything I've said about CSU is the same for UC. They've seemed to follow CSU, who has more campuses. What do I think personally? Personally, I think I don't like mandates. I think a lot of Black families, a lot more than the media reports, are vaccine hesitant, and the CDC has not made it very easy for people to take the new booster. So if you don't have that new booster, why you don't require the new booster or don't say anything, you don't really have a mandate. But I think the problem is CDC and the FDA have not clearly stated their analysis of the VAERS database of the first vaccines. And so there's a lot of hesitancy this time as people look and see that Omicron is a mild infection at best. Some people get a little more sicker than others, but nobody's seemingly getting hospitalized. Therefore, there's only a 11%, I just checked, vaccine rate for the new vaccine right now. I know I'm not going to take it unless I get more data. Right now, I am privy to seeing data, raw data that says there were a lot more adverse effects than any other vaccine we've had before, way more, like up to 90, 80 times more. I did a video on that over on YouTube, Holy Thinkers EDU, if you're interested. But so I think eventually the pressure will cause CSU to make the vaccines optional. I don't even think that testing will be required at this point. And CSU's applications are way down this year so far. Maybe I'll post that article down below if I can find those articles. I don't think they can afford to push mandates with their enrollment so low. Their application rate being under what it was last year. So that's what I feel. They're still requiring it, but I think it's going to have to fall. And some CSUs, as we applied for students, were not requiring acknowledgement of the mandates, which means that they may still let them go to school. Nothing was mentioned about religious waivers, nothing like that. I can't comment on that. They didn't take any of them last year for my students. I didn't write the waivers, but they weren't taking any. All right, God bless you. I hope that helps parents. My advice would be still apply, but be aware there is a very low possibility, but it could happen that the CSUs follow a recommendation of CDC of some sorts and make it a mandate, but I really doubt it. And the governor said he's just going to wait till after the election. So, We can't know whether the politician will force the mandates. And if they do, will people just go to other schools? I'm going to do my next video on my top schools that do not have mandates. And unfortunately, they're all away from the state of California and or Christian schools in California, which is why I'm going to do an extensive set of videos on the Christian schools that we like here in California. God bless you. Bye-bye now.